I never expected this reaction from the internet from the new Mario Kart game. As you saw from my last video, I was very positive after seeing Mario Kart World. I was beyond elated. However, there are some concerns. We're gonna address 3 of them today. They are major concerns. I'm gonna go in order of what I think are the biggest concerns to the ones I am the least worried about. There's a lot of people making videos on this subject. There's social media outrage over the price of the game and the console itself. This is by far the biggest concern for Mario Kart World. Look at Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. It sold over 70 million copies. The entry barrier for the game was a lot less. The game was cheaper. The console was cheaper. When you combine the two together, it was like half the price of what we're dealing with here. Because this is an $80 game, which is already steep. But then, you know, you still have to buy the Switch too. You can't play this game on the Switch. You can't play it on the PC. It's not a Steam game. People are used to spending so much less on video games in 2025 in general, unless they're buying like a PS5 game or whatever. It's like $500+ to play the new Mario Kart game. You know, you're gonna have to buy the console with the bundle, then you're gonna have to maybe buy a Switch 2 Pro controller. You're gonna have to get online membership. That's just the beginning. Who knows how much DLC will cost in the future, but we saw like how accessible Mario Kart 8 Deluxe was, how many people got it. It was just this game that was getting a bigger and bigger player base the longer it was around. It felt bigger than ever when the DLC came out in 2022, 2023. But overall, by far the biggest concern. We want people to be playing the games, obviously. And I'm sure the price will drop in the future, but like how long is it gonna be? A year, 2 years, longer? Who knows? First party Nintendo games sometimes never have the price drop anyway. So this is something I am seriously worried about. I completely understand everyone saying the price of this game is absurd. I completely agree. And it's also because the console is so expensive. We're used to Nintendo consoles being way cheaper. I think this will definitely make the lifespan of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe last quite a bit longer. There'll be plenty of people that do not transfer to this game and they continue to play Mario Kart Wii or Mario Kart 8 Deluxe or whatever their favorite Mario Kart game is. Overall, I just saw so many amazing new game modes and changes to the franchise. They got me excited, so I wasn't even really focused on the price too much. I asked the question at the end of the video, like, what do you guys think of the price? It was more of an afterthought, but then when I saw the comment section of my video where over half of the comments were about the price, I was like, we definitely should talk about the price of the game first and then talk about everything else after, because if people aren't buying the game, then they're not gonna even be giving it a chance, and then who knows how well the game will do. And we saw how many copies Mario Kart 8 sold. I hope the Switch 2 doesn't have a similar fate to the Wii U. I think it looks way, way better, but you obviously can't deny the price. The price is $500+, entry barrier to play the new Mario Kart. We've never had anything like this before. Number 2 on the concerns. This one I am so much less worried about, but I've seen so many people feel that the new way of going about tracks, you could see right here looking at the mini map between the 2 cows, it's pretty much a straight line in a lot of parts, because you look at new Knockout Tour and Grand Prix game modes, and there's a lot of straight lines. There's a lot of sections that are not as interesting as the racetracks themselves, and often you're just driving 2 sections on a straight line and 1 lap on a racetrack that is more enjoyable than these in-between straight line simulator sections. To be honest, this did not worry me whatsoever like the price did. This was something I didn't even think would be an issue, and I want to play this clip of JP Givener's video where he talks about it, because I have similar thoughts, and then I'll get into my opinions afterwards.
We're starting off with Grand Prix mode. Since this is an open world Mario Kart, instead of playing 4 individual tracks in each Grand Prix, after each race, you'll spend most of the following races traveling to the next track. And when you get to the next track, you only play a single lap of it. This has really rubbed people the wrong way. First and foremost, this is exclusively in Grand Prix mode. When playing in versus mode, time trials, or online, this won't be the case. I actually really like Mario Kart World's Grand Prix mode. I could easily look past the boring routes to the next track, when for me, this experience is going to be exclusive to Grand Prix mode and free roam.
So I definitely agree with JP here. I think that these game modes are going to be so amazing for casual players. There's no denying the straight line sections between the levels are much easier to navigate than the tracks themselves, even though the tracks themselves do not look too difficult, too bad. I think there's just going to be a VS mode. There's going to be an online VS mode equivalent. Grand Prix mode, Knockout Tour are something totally different. You can choose what you want to play. Do you want to play the traditional style of the game, Or do you want to play the new Knockout Tour, the new Grand Prix mode, the new casualized version of Mario Kart? I mean, these game modes are pretty casual. Knockout mode in general is pretty casual, playing it as a mod on Mario Kart Wii. I expect this to be no different, and I applaud Nintendo for this. I remember when other Mario Kart games came out, Mario Kart 7 didn't have versus mode. Mario Kart 8 didn't even have a proper battle mode. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe added it later, and then there was 200cc worldwides in Mario Kart Wii U, but then there were no 200cc worldwides in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. So I've already seen game modes missing for other Mario Kart series titles. I don't think they're just gonna get rid of versus mode, gonna get rid of a core part of the game, playing 3 laps on the tracks. I don't think that's going anywhere. I'm 99% sure we'll still be able to play the tracks how we've always enjoyed them. So I'm not worried, but I was very fascinated to see how many people were talking about not enjoying what they were seeing on the trailer and the demo. And I think the trailer and the demo are just showing what's new. They're just trying to focus on getting people excited for what they've spent time on with this new open world element, with the free roam, with the Knockout Tour, with the new Grand Prix mode. So I'm really positive and optimistic about this, but I do want to hear your thoughts, because maybe I'm wrong, but I feel good about it. I still feel really good about it. The last major complaint, and this is something that we always see with new Mario Karts, with people from the community from past Mario Karts being concerned about how much they change with the new Mario Kart. People are concerned about too many mechanics missing, and is the game going to be fun? Now, I'm going to play this clip from Shortcat, and then I'll get into some of my thoughts. I found it very relatable.
I was so excited before watching it, and then after watching it, I thought to myself, why am I so worried about this game?
Now, one thing to keep in mind is Shortcat, his favorite game is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. He loves the mechanics of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. He really appreciates the game design overall. He's gotten really good at the game, so all of those hundreds, if not 1,000+ hours spent on Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Sometimes, you know, after you've spent so much time playing the most recent title and then you're moving to the new title, it gets a bit worrisome seeing when they change literally everything. I felt this exact same way when I played Mario Kart 7 for the first time and Mario Kart 8. They changed so much from Mario Kart Wii that it made it more difficult for me to enjoy the game, because I was so attached to what I'd grown and loved over the last handful of years playing Mario Kart Wii, and then I see the new game change it all, and I'm like, why did they change something that was perfect? And I'm sure he feels pretty much the same way here about Mario Kart World, and just being a little worried that he's gonna end up enjoying Mario Kart 8 Deluxe more than Mario Kart World. You know, even if this game is super fun casually, maybe competitively Mario Kart 8 Deluxe will be a better game. It's too early to tell. We have no idea. We won't even know until after the game releases. We won't even know until months after the game releases. If you go back and watch old world records on any Mario Kart game, Mario Kart Wii, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, whatever it is, you will notice a day 1 world record versus like a 1 year in world record, or 5 years later from when the game releases. It's totally different. There's so much tech, discovery, shortcuts, whatever it is, discovered since the inception of the game, that you really can't be worried, because you go watch these day 1 world records and yeah, they're just driving straight, they're doing mini turbos around the corners, they're on goofy vehicle combinations, you won't see too much exciting stuff. And then later you watch any Mario Kart 8 Deluxe world record now compared to the day 1 world record, and it's fascinating. Like, the tech is crazy, there's snaking, there's all these cool strategies with low tricks and with chaining mini turbos together and squeezing out mini turbos in weird spots and just abusing the physics to your advantage. Obviously the motion glider, there's a million different things. So we will not know how good the game is competitively for at least a couple months after its release, and everyone just has to be patient and give the game a chance and just keep an open mind. That would be my best advice. But I definitely related to Shortcat on this clip. I literally went through this with previous Mario Kart games after being so obsessed with Mario Kart Wii, and now I just approach it in a totally different mind frame. Mario Kart Wii was literally 4 Mario Kart games ago, so I've accepted the fact that the newer Mario Kart games are gonna be nothing like Mario Kart Wii and not really feel similar, but it doesn't bother me. I'm at the point now where I just embrace the change, and I love how Nintendo changes so much with every single game. It's just exciting how much effort they put into each game. It's honestly surprising how much they change. They do not need to change as much as they do. They try to give us a new, authentic experience every single title, and that is to be applauded in my opinion. So I'm beyond thrilled for this. There's no part of me that wants this to be like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe or Mario Kart 7, and I'm gonna go into this game with as open mind as possible because I think that's the way I'll get the most enjoyment out of it. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with playing the old Mario Karts too. I would love to have 2 games that I play all the time, Mario Kart Wii and Mario Kart World. You know, both the MKW games, like if I'm playing them 50% each on this channel and a year from now, then that would be a huge W for me and for everybody at home, because I know you guys don't want the Mario Kart Wii to go away, but I also want to play Mario Kart World for as long as I have interest in the game. And if they keep releasing DLC, I'm sure I'll play this game for years. And another big change is like the stun from getting hit by items or enemies on the race course is severely diminished. I mean, it's nowhere near what it used to be. Even the fireball there, you can see how little it lasted. Like Moo threw like 6 or 7 fireballs and it was over, just like that. So yeah, anyway, you can get hit by stuff and you can topple forward, keep going, maybe lose a couple placements, but you know how it was in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. You got hit by a red shell, you went from 4th to 11th. Like, it was a pretty common occurrence. So overall, for 24 player, I do like how, oh, here's the boomerang, Yeah, see, he used the boomerang once, he used it twice, and then there's like a little wavy line going at the bottom and pretty much telling him you only have a couple seconds to use this boomerang or it's gonna be out. So really cool. And yeah, so overall, great changes. Look at the physics there. Like the car hit Moo on the left, and then instead of toppling over and losing like 5+ seconds, he kind of like swayed onto 2 wheels, went to the off-road a bit, then continued on his merry way and was barely affected. And I think this is a great change. Being less punishing will keep the pack closer and keep the races more dynamic and interesting overall. Now, one last thing, and this is my biggest worry for actual game mechanics, like besides price pretty much, this was my biggest worry about Mario Kart World out of all the footage that I've digested so far. And this was found by Shortcat. I believe I saw his video on it and I was shocked. So I'm gonna play the clip real quick.
Look at this by the way. I hope this is a glitch or it's getting patched, because what is this? Look at Coin Coffer here, about to run into the green shell. Okay, and then Coin Coffer gets hit. So that makes sense. I'm glad, like, they're playing online. I'm glad there's not really lag trails, because Coin Coffer had to get hit on his own screen. But look at Baby Daisy. Baby Daisy, where did you get that green shell? Did you get the green shell at the previous item set where Coin Coffer ran into it, where there is no green shell on Coin Coffer's screen? And then Baby Daisy throws the green shell away and hits somebody else. Ladies and gentlemen, we are playing online.
This is obviously such a big issue. One of my biggest problems with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Online is someone wouldn't hit me on my screen, but they would hit me on their screen and I would get hit and I wouldn't know what I got hit by. But that was extremely weird, just seeing the green shell, being able to take out 2 people and seeing that much lag. You know, we pay for online. It's been so many years, like Nintendo, like, fix your online. We need this game to function well because they clearly put so much effort into this game. It would be a shame if the online experience was laggy and it just didn't feel fair, because that's how it feels when there's tremendous lag with the items, especially because items are so powerful and so influential in Mario Kart that if you have lag like that and green shells are hitting someone and then you keep your green and then you can use your green to hit someone else, like what are we doing here? This is 2025. Come on, Nintendo. So once again, it is a demo. The game's not out. There's still time for this to be patched. Maybe it won't really be an issue, but the fact that we saw it in just the tiny bit of footage and gameplay we have available for Mario Kart World. Oh my gosh, there's a feather on the ground. Do you guys see that? And as more footage releases over the next couple months, I think it's gonna be the #1 thing I am looking out for. Want to see how the game functions, how the items work, and if it overall feels fluid, feels fair, and feels like a game that can be viable competitively. And it's not just Mario Party-esque. Hate to say it, but if the lag is that severe, then nobody is going to be playing this game competitively, or nobody is going to be taking it seriously, at least. So yeah, those are my thoughts on the game. We ended up covering 4 major concerns. I would love you guys to comment below. What are your biggest concerns about the game? Which concerns are overblown and are concerns that we really shouldn't have, really shouldn't be worried about, and we should just move on because the game's going to be great. We're going to love it. It won't be perfect, but all the fears we're having right now are probably gonna get expunged at the Mario Kart Direct fingers crossed. Be sure to subscribe below, because if Funky Kong is not in the game, then we are maining Dry Bones and the cow.